Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here today. The heads of New York Artist Circle thought before we go into our summers of more quiet times that we would be focusing on productivity. And this speaker that's before you today, I hope will change your life like she has mine. I'm not kidding. She has changed my productivity level immeasurably. And I've worked with her a long time. I still work with her. I touch base with her. I'm in a small artist group with her, creativity group. And that way I'm held accountable. But I'm so excited to share my screen with you right now about how it has changed my life. But I'll tell you a story that every year, my little family of 4, we have always made a bucket list. And so we would all write down, maybe some categories, a couple of categories of what we want to happen. And the list is long and static. So I would have this list and I would not know what to do with the list. So basically, I did not get accomplished the things I really wanted to get accomplished in the way that Susan has propelled me to do so. So I'm going to show you. Here is my list of to-dos, and this is over here. Let's start here. This is, so she had me put in order of importance what had to get done now, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is like one of her little incredible secrets. But over time, I just keep getting all these tasks and I keep adding them to this really, really long list. And as I was preparing for the meeting, I really did see that a lot of it has gotten done. So that's before Susan. And then ready for this, guys? This is after Susan. So I have ongoing goals that I dump in here. Then I have 90-day goals, 30-day goals, weekly goals. That's what happens after Susan. So I will say also, by the way, Susan is a busy woman with a big job, and she has to stop at 8:20, right, Susan? So let's get the show on the road. Susan, thank you so much for donating your time to us today.
Thank you, Lori. Lori talks incessantly about this group and how it has impacted her and how it just supports her and inspires her. So I'm really happy to be here with all of you. I wish I could be there in person, but I'm on the West Coast, so that's not a possibility. And as Lori mentioned, we work a lot on productivity, accountability, priorities, and all that kind of stuff, both individually and in a group. And I prepared a short little presentation for you today, a little slideshow. I also shared a workbook that supports what I'm sharing with you today. For those of you that got it, amazing. I think Lori's going to put it in the chat for anybody that still wants to grab it. But I am going to share my screen. Okay. So let's get this show on the road. Let's move us. Let's share this. Oh my gosh, why? Oh, it's not letting me share. The share, trying to connect. Oh my God, I hope that's not my internet. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me stop sharing for a minute. Let me try again. Can you guys all hear me? I'm not breaking out, right? Okay.
You're good, Susan. And in the meantime, I just dropped the workbook into the chat if you hadn't gotten it in the email.
Participants can now, yeah, but see how this isn't blue?
Emily, anything you can do to help?
I don't know. I mean, look, I can just make this bigger. It won't be like as effective, but
that's fine.
Is that fine? Is everybody okay with that? You'll just see my little bar here. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so again, today we're going to talk about priorities and productivity. Lori told you a little bit about who I am, where I've come from. I have had a long, robust, amazing, multi-decade career. And I think what I love most is really helping people like us, particularly women. If there's men in the room, I'm not singling you out. But I definitely attract women, our demographic and our age, who are creatives, visionaries, go-getters, and doers. And I love just helping people kind of change their perspective on how they could possibly do things a little bit more efficiently. And I wouldn't say better, but it just in a more productive way. So what we're going to do today and what you're going to gain today is I've pulled out 3 powerful exercises that are part of my, it's called the What's Next Roadmap. It's a 12-part productivity strategy system. And Lori and I discussed what would be the most impactful for all of you. So we drilled it down to these 3. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to really look at your wish list, what you probably call your to-do list, which is what Lori originally just showed you, was that big, long task list or to-do list. I am going to show you how to maybe simplify that. First, that's step 1. Step 2 will be to define your pillars, which is something I call your life pie, which helps you put your wish list, your to-do list, your tasks, and all that stuff into columns or departments. And so that you can ultimately achieve work-life balance, because we know as creators and visionaries, we and entrepreneurs, we really probably spend 80% of our time on work and on creating. And we really need to pay attention to the other parts of our life. And then I'm going to show you how to take one thing on your list of pillars and build it around a project, which I call our life map dashboard. So why is this important? It is important because, like I said, we are busy people. We have a lot to do, and we definitely can get distracted and become super one-dimensional. So again, we want to accomplish a lot of things. We have a lot of life left to live. Age is just a number, but we can't do everything tomorrow or next week or next month or even this year. So how do we build that out into like a vision forecast of maybe a 2 to 5, 10, 20-year plan? And I'm going to first take you into step 1, which is basically what Lori, oops, why isn't it moving into there? Oh, here we go. What Lori showed you, where she took that big list. When she first gave it to me, this was 8 years ago when we first started working together. We were sitting in her kitchen. I still have the visual. And she printed that out. She showed it to me. And I looked at it and I was like, I can't look at this. Like, this is giving me anxiety. I threw it back at her and said, just pick 5 things. And then number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I asked her to kind of take that list, make a list of 50 to 100 things on that list that are priority or that she can really see planning out. So we take that list and we go into step 2, which is what I call our pillars. Now, these are our life pie. It's broken up into 6 identifiable sections of your life: physical, intellectual, emotional, social, financial, spiritual. And under each of those, for those of you that did get the workbook, there is a worksheet in there with and that workbook is digital, so you can work it on your computer if you like, but you can also print it out, where you would pick some of those things and put it under each column. So for me, financial might be business, marketing, and branding. Physical and emotional might be my R&R. I love to learn, but that could also fall under intellectual or spiritual. So there is crossover. So it's a way for you to start to organize the things in your life that you want to get done, whether it's purging your garage or doing a new art series or buying a whole new set of paintbrushes. Those would kind of fall under one of these pillars. And here are some other things that have come up over the years of different pillars. Maybe you like to garden as a hobby, that might go under one of your pillars, or you do yoga, or you have a spiritual practice, you love philanthropy. Where would all these different categories fall under those 6 categories? And once you can do that, then you can kind of take these and do what Lori did, where she planned out maybe her year and then reverse engineered it into quarters and months and days and weeks and days, so that she knows she wants to get certain things done in the year or in the next 2 years, but she's got to prioritize what those things are. Because I'm a visionary and a creative myself. I built a global lifestyle brand. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to gift. I love to give, but I can't do that every day. I have other responsibilities as a mother and as a caregiver for my 91-year-old mother. There's a lot of things we have to do in a day and in a week, and we can't.
Susan?
Yeah.
I'm just getting a comment. If you could like speak a little slower, you're in your New York mode.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Of course. Of course. And also put, no, we're going to do Q&A at the end, right? So
Yes.
people are holding their questions. Okay. Okay. So here's an example of Lori's pillars. And Lori, I don't know if you want to speak to this a little bit, because I think you could speak to it a little bit better than me. No. Okay. So Lori identified some of her pillars. Again, we started this years ago, but what we do every December is we reflect back on what her intentions were for the year, or what were some of the things she wanted to work on or prioritize. And then we reevaluate it going into the next year. So this is an evolution. This is constantly evolving, just like you evolve. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is forever, but I always say never, right? So as your life evolves, as you evolve as a human being, I don't know about you, but I'm in my 60s, my early 60s, and as somebody in my early 60s, I'm at a phase right now where it looks very, very different than it did 5 years ago or even 10 years ago. So what this looked like then is very different from what it looks like now. So nothing is set in stone. This can always change. And I think when we think about it that way and we change our perspective on that, I think we give ourselves permission to let go of some of the perfection. We lean into the imperfection, and we just allow ourselves to continue to grow and learn. And so step 3 is tackling one project at a time, which is what I call our life map dashboard. And I have this as a template also in that workbook. Lori, we worked on this before the Saatchi Other Art Fair back in 2022, Lori and I, because she hadn't shown for a while, and she knew she really wanted to update her COA, her Certificate of Authenticity. And so in creating her COA, you know, there's a lot of moving parts to that. It's not just, I want to create a COA and you just start to do things. She had to be strategic. She had to be methodical. She had to systematize how she was going to get stuff done. So what I asked her to do was identify the top 3 milestones, which I call like markers. If any of you hike or ski, you'll see those kind of what they call guideposts, goalposts along the way. Like as you're hiking up the mountain, it's like, oh, you've got a mile to go before you get to the destination. Your milestones are just that. They give you, they measure how far you've come and your success, so you can just keep moving up till you get to the destination. And then under it are the different tasks. Again, a hiking reference. Tasks are the details. So if you hike, it would be your water bottle or a great backpack, snacks, maybe a friend, maybe music. It could be a walking stick, great shoes. So it's those little details that make the experience better. And for this case, it makes the project systematic. It's like a step by step. I got to do this before I can do that, and XYZ. And as you can see, Lori attached a date on the left column of each of those tasks so she could measure how far she's come. And she knew she couldn't go on to step 2 before she accomplished step 1. And she got it done. And what she accomplished was a system. And she's able to now automate this. So where she knew she needed not only the COA and what identified that piece of art and what the details were and what the series was, but she was also able to customize it for, in this case, Madeline. So if I were to buy a piece of art, she would just swap out Madeline for Susan with a personalized message in that COA. So not only did she create a system, she automated this whole process. So the next time she had to do this, it was super duper easy. Did I cover all that, Lori?
Yes. Any way to make the presentation a little bit bigger?
Yeah, that's the share button here. That's why, like, I don't know why it's blue. I mean, not blue, like quick share. Let's see. Oh, it's
I think you
saying
slideshow button.
it's still gray. Like it's not, see how all this is gray? It's
Yeah.
still gray. Join the call here, present, slideshow, share. Anyone who has the link can sign in as required. Oh, maybe that's my bad. Maybe that's my screw up. So this worked yesterday when I was playing with it. I don't know why it's not working. This has never happened before.
Well, we're recording, so hopefully you can go back and see. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Let me see if I make it as an editor. Let's see if that changes it.
While I'm watching it, I just hit Command plus and my screen gets bigger. So I blew up. I think everybody
Exactly.
can
And
do
I
that. Just do
apologize.
Command plus.
I can share this as a PDF as well with all of you, and then you could share it out with
Yes.
your group if you like. Okay. I will definitely do that. So those are 3 productivity systems, again, inside a 12-step strategy and process. And so to recap, we talked about a to-do list, which can be categorized as a wish list or a project list or a task list. They're all pretty much the same. It just depends upon how you use it in your own life. Then we took that wish list and we I call it like a dream list, like it's your dreams, your wishes, your desires, your wants. And then I showed you hopefully how to take those dreams and wishes and desires and put them into your life pie, into your 6 pillars, and then how to grab one and create a project roadmap. And then again, once you do that once, you can systematize it in multiple ways going forward and doing it over and over again. And also with the workbook that I gave to you guys, you can download that multiple times and use it as like a template and then just keep filling it in or printing it out or however you like to work. Some people are more analog, some people are more digital. I'm both. I think Lori's both, but we all work differently. So I wanted to make sure that I could meet you where you were at. And at Lori's suggestion, she thought it would be a good idea to do maybe a follow-up power hour because this is big. And this is a lot. And it is a new way of thinking. It's a behavioral change. We've got to create maybe a new habit or a new way of doing things. And so I do this workshop. I've done it before for $37. I figured if you want to join today while we're on the call, you can use this QR code and get a $10 discount. Lori's also going to put the link in the chat. But the problem with the link in the chat, Lori, is it doesn't go to the coupon, I realized, because I wanted to identify that for here, but we can figure that out as we go. And the reason why I have dates and times TBD on here is because once I see those that have signed up or who are curious or want to sign up, I will lean into your schedule. So I will send an email and ask you about 3 specific dates, and we'll see who can attend like the majority, and then we'll pick that date and hopefully it will work out for everybody. Let's see. And also when you sign up for this, I am going to gift you as a bonus lesson 12, which is blocking and batching, which I feel is the creme de la creme of this whole thing, because we have a wish list. We might have identified them in our pillars. We might have picked one project, but it's still really hard to take those different areas of your life of your life map and those different pillars and figure out what can I do on Monday, what can I do on Tuesday, what can I do on Thursday or whatever. This helps you not only block out the time for those specific things you want to accomplish maybe in the week or the month or the quarter, but it also helps you batch certain things together. So where with Lori, she had all those graphics she needed to create. We batched those into a 2-hour block. When she came home from the Saatchi fair, she was like, okay, she came back to LA rather. Her house was a mess. She was like, okay, I'm going to spend 2 hours a day on my garage. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, you'll never get anything else done. Pick 2 or 3 hours, maybe Sunday, and block out that time on Sunday. And because of that, she was able to focus on other things, knowing that she put herself on the calendar. She was saying no to everybody else so she could say yes to that project and to herself. And she ultimately got it done in a way more efficient and productive way. So again, this is, oops, that's for you. This is where I am on social media. I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, some time on Instagram. I definitely am on Instagram. I love DMs. So if you follow me, I will definitely follow you back and support you. I'm big on engagement. I don't just like your post. I believe in engaging and getting to know people. So I will definitely engage with you. And now I believe we're going to move into Q&A, right, Lori?
Yes, we have 10 more minutes for you.
Okay. So if anybody wants me to go back to a slide before I take myself on camera, I can do that, or we can just move right into Q&A. Yeah.
You can go up. You got to speak into the mic. Yeah. Yeah, you got to go to the mic so she can hear you. We have somebody in the room, Susan. Just be a second.
Cool. Should I take myself off and stop sharing?
No, I just had a quick question. There was one slide where you had 3 columns of information about like 4 slides back, about before that.
This.
I don't know. Yeah, wait, let me see. After that, keep going forward. Forward.
This.
No, you're all the way. You passed it. It was,
Okay.
keep going.
COA.
Keep
Oh,
going.
it's your COA.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is, I've given you that as a downloadable PDF as well as a digitized, a fillable PDF in the workbook. So if you haven't grabbed the workbook, please do so. I think Lori put it in the chat. It's free.
I already bought your product.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else?
I think somebody wanted you to go back to the last slide with the information about your Instagram and your content.
Great. Yes, please follow me. Lori will attest that I love to voice DM because I think that when we can engage with our voice and we hear the intonation, we connect on a deeper level. And I personally hate texting. So DMing to me is like texting. I'd rather have a quick conversation with you.
Come on up. I think, so you mentioned goal setting, and of course, a to-do list is a daily goal setting. And then you said weekly, 30, 90. Can you give us the full range? Do you go out 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
I mean, again, that's part of the What's Next roadmap. The first exercise really is that wish list that I shared with you here. This is like, I always say, use this as a brain dump, right? Put all of your wishes and dreams. Like for me, like I'm upset with myself that I didn't do, what was it called when we got out of college where you go and live in a country for 2 years? Oh, Peace Corps, right? And then I heard that there was Peace Corps for seniors or elderly people. So I kind of put that on my wish list. Now I might not do it next year. I might not do it in 5 years, but maybe I'll do it in 7 years. I put that on my wish list. And I also put like redoing my closet. I also put, making cards. I also put a revenue goal of what I wanted each year for those. So this is your brain dump, your wish list. And then as you go through this, like this could be your 10-year goal, 10-year plan, right? Your 10-year vision forecast. But then what I do is I ask you to circle like 5 to 7 of those things on your list that could be doable for next year or next quarter or the last 2 quarters of the year. However you like to think. There's no one way to do it. But this is really DIY. I'm not set in stone. This is DIY. This is that I want you to work in a way that works for you. But if I can help you in any way, find a better way or find a simpler way. Lori always tells me, you simplify the complicated. And that's what I do. I try to remove the fluff so that you can just get to the meat and potatoes.
Susan, let me screen share my list again to respond to Ally.
Okay. But again, that's part of the What's Next roadmap. So, this is a very complicated, detailed way to work. This took a lot of time for Lori and I to suss out. This did not happen in a day or a week. This was definitely, this again is part of my productivity system. It is adaptable and it can help you create a habit. But again, it's a process, just like everything else in life.
My thing is, I have like this system, whatever, as right-brained creative, more right-brained. I think in this group, we have a lot of right-brained people. So the list doesn't always work because that's an unqualified place that you go. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
And but if something has to happen, it gets done somehow. Like
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, then you,
But I suspect I'm not the only person in the room who is like that. If you have a deadline, you get it done.
I think, and let me ask you, I can't see you speaking because of the screen share, so I can't see you. I'd love for you to take the screen share off, Lori.
Sure.
Because I like to see who I'm talking to.
The camera too.
I don't know where I am.
Is we all work differently, right? Again, there might be parts of this that will work for you and parts that won't, right? So we just throw that other stuff away and we find a simpler way for you to do that. So I love, no one's ever brought that up about right brain, left brain. And as creatives, we work more on the left. Is that right? No, on the right. Is that what creatives are right? Is that right? Can't remember. But
Right.
it's really important to not neglect the left. So again, it's really for you. I think it would probably be 2 columns. It was like what falls under the right category, what falls under the left category, and how can you achieve the end goal or the project end date of that right project, but also not neglect other things in your life or on the left side.
So, and just to let you guys know, it took a long time. And if you print out the template that Susan offers you, you can do it over the summer. And she gets in all of my pies. Like you'll see you guys will see my therapist is in there. I'm drinking water a day. It's like every little thing is in that list and it works. But I wanted to let you know, Susan, it's 8:18 and I know you have stuff.
Yeah, I can, I could spend I could stay till like 8:25. I have a meeting at 8:30. And I got to switch computers. So I just want to give myself 5 minutes for that. But I love these questions.
Do people in the room, does anyone have a question or a thought about how they organize their time and figure it out? I don't know. Again, as a creative, I don't know, because it's like this is a lifestyle. Everyone tells you not to live. So I just throw the balls up in the air, and so it's like, because I don't know. Does anyone relate to that? And I started out as a sculptor. It's like, one of the most impractical professions there is. So you just have to do it. If you think too practically, you won't do it. I don't know how.
Right. I mean, look, I am throw spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. And I lived that way for a long time. But then in 2016, I was faced with a health challenge and I really had to reevaluate how I was going to work and what I was going to prioritize. And that's where this whole system came to fruition because A, I wasn't really enjoying the way that I was working with my clients. And B, I didn't have a system to get the things that I really wanted to prioritize done. And I couldn't find one. So through reading and podcasts and other informational groups, I kind of created my own. And that's where the What's Next roadmap came out of. And it's a way to continue to throw spaghetti against the wall. That's what that wish list is. I am a big advocate and encourager of the wish list. I love the wish list. And you can build on that every month, every year. It doesn't ever go away. But if you really want to tap into your true essence and to your talents and your work, your everything about you, I'm a big proponent of highlighting or circling some of those things on that spaghetti wall and saying, okay, I'm going to focus on this for a month. And if it's not resonating, I'm going to put it on the shelf and I'm going to pick something else.
And the follow-up course that you're graciously offering us, that's, affordable. You can put that on our listserv or send it to Emily and
Yeah.
she'll put that on the listserv so we can follow up and everyone can follow up because that sounded really helpful. So thank you for that.
I think it will be. And again, I'm not, Lori will attest to this. It says power hour, but depending on how many people sign up, I will make sure once I see that to block out as much time as we need so that you can be attended to. I've also created, once we know who's coming, like a Google form where I will send that to you and you can actually pre-send your questions to me if you have a screenshot or whatever, and then we can work from there, but don't feel pressured to do that. We can be off the cuff and off the fly as well.
This can be a good summer project.
It's a great summer project. Summer is a great time to pause, right? Not pause really, but pause in the go, do. It's a great time to step back and reevaluate and say, okay, I want to breathe a little. What do I want to do? And how, I think Q4 of, your year, that October, November, December are the most impactful and powerful months of the year. I truly believe that we can get more done in that time than we can in the previous month. So summer is a great time to plan and strategize for that Q4.
Yeah, that I like that advice.
Yeah.
I know some people here are going on vacations or to art residencies, but and I'm looking forward myself to things slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
There's work I want to do, but I like that.
Yeah. And also vacation for me, like where I'm away, even though I probably have like my computer or my phone, but even though I'm away, I ideate like nobody's business. Like the ideas just kept coming in, and I'm able to reiterate. And I would imagine as a creative and a visionary for all of you, I would imagine that probably happens to you as well. So it's really important to step away. And summer is a great time to do that.
Right.
Print out that workbook. The sheet that she's given you. Print out many of them.
Yeah. And keep it on your desktop as a template, and again, it's a fillable PDF too, if you like to work digitally, but if you don't, most people don't, print it out and keep using it over and over again. That is for you forever.
Bring it to the beach. Thank you, Susan.
Oh my gosh, this was amazing. I'm so excited to meet your community again. Lori loves all of you. I remember when you got accepted, like you had to get accepted to this, right? Or you joined it. She was just telling me I know she says I've changed her life, but I know all of you have as well. So she's so lucky to have all of you. This is amazing.
We're lucky to have her.
She's she's an anomaly. She's my girl.
Yeah.
She's my girl.
Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has a good summer. Susan,
Thank you.
let's thank Susan for her
Thank
free
you. Thank
time.
you. And also like DM me or ask questions. I'm always here for you. I'm a huge cheerleader. So I'm on your side.
Great.
Thank you, Emily and Lucinda, for organizing this and inviting me to the table.
Thank you for coming. Yes, way to end our June. And I think we have just a few minutes left. If there's people, it'd be good to know what people are doing this summer. If there are people going